is a Decision 2020 special report from KSL.
Good evening. Right now at 10, a Super Tuesday update with the results for the Democratic primary race here in Utah. You can see Bernie Sanders is leading with 33% of the vote. He's followed by Mike Bloomberg at 18%. Elizabeth Warren's at 15%. Joe Biden has gone up a little bit to now 16%. On the Republican side, no surprise here, a landslide win for President Donald Trump. These are the Democratic numbers again that you're seeing. A little bit of a shift, but all night it's been going pretty steady.
Bernie Sanders had a decent night here in Utah, as you saw. He struggled in a number of states, especially in the South. Here's a look at the states that have now voted. The states in blue are wins for Joe Biden. States in purple are wins for Bernie Sanders. The AP has called California for Sanders, but it'll be unclear for a while how the 415 delegates will get divided up. Mike?
Yeah, we do have live team coverage with our news specialists this evening on this critical night in the race for the White House. Andrew Adams live at the Utah Watch Party for Bernie Sanders. Ashley Moser with Utah's Young Democrats. Matt Rascone is in the middle of the action right now, where ballots are still being counted. First, though, political specialist Ladd Egan is heading up our coverage with really, Ladd, the biggest story of the night, and that is the record turnout.
Yeah, that is exactly right. There was a lot of excitement headed into Utah's first ever Super Tuesday, and voters matched that excitement at the polls. We broke 2 records tonight for a presidential primary, both in voter turnout and total ballots cast. You can see the number here. More than 501,000 Utahns voted. That puts us at a 34% turnout. That is the most ever for a presidential primary. That's even more than in 2008 when Mitt Romney was on the ballot. We had a 32% turnout that year, and the number this year, of course, will continue to grow as the ballots that were dropped off today are processed tomorrow. And speaking of those ballots, let's head out to Matt Rascone. He is live at the county government processing center there. And Matt, I imagine that the ballot counting is nowhere near complete.
Yeah, it isn't, as you imagined. And just 2 hours after the polling locations closed, you can see the voting machines packed up down in the basement of the Salt Lake County building where the counting continues tonight. As you can see, they'll be here tonight until they can count all 34 polling locations. They can get that information from the voters there. And until they have that number, we don't know exactly how many people voted here in person. But here's what we do know. Salt Lake County sent out more than 333,000 mail-in ballots. As of 6 tonight, about 157,000 of those had been returned. By 6 p.m., around 30,000 people had voted in Salt Lake County in person. That does not include provisional voters or those who registered to vote at the polling location today.
There's people and candidates that support what I believe and morals that I believe in, and I just want to support them.
I think it's important just to participate in civic engagement, and we have the right to vote, and if I want to be represented, I need to participate in that.
In Utah County, 8,265 people voted in person today. And statewide, as you heard from Ladd, we're looking at the highest voter turnout and most ballots cast. Back out here live, you can get a look at what voter turnout is right now in Salt Lake County. We're looking at 542,000 registered voters, 156,000 or nearly 157,000 ballots cast so far. So that's close to 29% of the vote. The mail-in ballots, that count will last for the next couple of days. You can expect the next update from the clerk's office, they say, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Guys?
All right, Matt, thank you. Live there at the county government complex where they've got some work ahead of them. And as we wait for those votes to be counted, the Democratic Party says we will also have to wait for the final allocation of delegates. That's because it involves some complicated math. To get any of our 29 delegates, a candidate needs to have at least 15% of the vote, either at the state level or in our 4 congressional districts. So if we look at tonight's results, we get a little peek at what may happen here. Only 4 candidates met that threshold, with Sanders likely picking up the most delegates, followed by Mike Bloomberg, then Joe Biden in fourth place, and Biden in third, and Elizabeth Warren there in fourth. And to look at the delegate count as on the national level, we do need to get to that magic number of 1,991 delegates. That's what's needed to get that Democratic nomination. And right now, Biden is in the lead there. So we'll keep an eye on that. We're here at the election desk all this evening, and we'll keep you updated as the race to the White House is on.
Yeah, Led, still we don't know the numbers, but what we do know is that with those turnout numbers, it appears our first Super Tuesday did what it was supposed to.
It was a success, I'd say so.
All right, thanks.